What it do, baby? What's up? Can I get some love? I don't know how the song goes, but you know what I'm trying to say. What it do, everybody? What it do? What it do? What it do? This is episode, I don't know, Sports and Giggles Top Sports Moments with your host, Kevin Big Daddy Fregoso. That's what we're going to call me from now on. Big Daddy Fregoso. Always and forever. I'm on a good one. I did just return from the gym, and I might be cooped up on some pre-workout. There's a good chance I have all this energy because of the pre-workout. So maybe I come off a little bit more energetic than normally, but that's okay. That's okay because we are here to talk about top sports moments. I've kind of been lucky enough to experience some of these moments that you'll hear. Others, I don't know. I don't know if when I talk about experience, like I was there, like not watching the TV. So that's how I kind of took my list. With others, I think maybe they experience it live, or they're watching it on TV live as well. So we range different. I think I will start with saying Tom Brady isn't the GOAT is like saying aliens don't exist. Because aliens do exist. We're not the only people in this world, in this whole galaxy. It's crazy to believe that us are the only living species. No, there's something else out there. And that's why Tom Brady's the GOAT, because there's nobody else like him. Ooh, Matt. We were doing Matt's top 5. And I'm going to be a little sensitive on this one, because I know Matt got pretty butthurt with his last top 10 that I gave off of his, because he wanted to put some UFC fighters. I didn't meant to swing. So I'll definitely try not to hurt Matt's feelings. He's a very sensitive guy. It's okay. That happens to you when you have kids. Okay, I will start after I strike out. Oh, good hit. And is that out? Oh, I hit a home run. Nice. All right. So, Matt was able to follow the rules, not like Jose. Thank goodness. So, I'll start at number 5. Sergio Ramos' header to tie the UEFA Finals 2014. And I actually watched that. I watched that clip on YouTube this morning. I think the video itself doesn't give the moment justice. But I know Gus also has this moment in his top list too, so it should be special to tie it too, especially in a 93 minute to go on and win it in overtime, extra time. Sorry, I'll get the jargon for soccer right. So that should be pretty cool. I do know who Sergio Ramos is. I am a fan. I'm a fan of Madrid too, so I respect that choice. And then Matt's number 4, David Tyree catching Super Bowl to end Patriots' perfect season. Yeah, that moment, that Super Bowl, amazing. I think that's considered maybe top 2 of the best catches in Super Bowl history, because I think one of the other debate is definitely that Julian Edelman catch in that comeback game too, where the ball was he literally caught the ball like inches from the ground and then took his hands off of it and still was able to slap that ball. But I think David Tyree, I think the catch alone is crazy, but Eli Manning's ability to scramble outside the pocket while being grabbed by like 3 Patriots, I think that moment too in itself is legendary. Take away that catch, and you still have that scramble by Eli Manning, and then on top of it, you have that amazing ass throw and catch. I think that alone is fucking, that shit will live forever as being the best play in Super Bowl history. Because you got the best catch, but best play overall. That catch is beautiful. Like, everyone expected Peyton or Eli Manning to get sacked. I think even the commentators, like, I'm surprised the referees didn't call it, because when the play is dead, they don't want the quarterback to get hurt. they kind of call it early, but nah, they gave Eli Manning the chance to scramble. He did just that. He scrambled right. He threw that shit deep, and Tyree was still able to catch it on the back of his helmet. And in itself, him not being, you know, such a big name player, it was just somebody, just as anybody was able to make that catch. What's up, Matt? How to do, baby? I'm on your list right now. I just finished talking about that great Patriots play in itself. I think you should have put that number 4. You should have put that whole play in itself, because what I was saying, like, that catch is amazing, but Eli Manning's scramble, I think that was more difficult than the Tyree catch. But overall itself, that play was just the best Super Bowl play to ever live. So I respect that. I respect number 4. Number 3 from Matt's top 5 sports moment is a very, very brand new moment. Is Giannis' 50-point game that clinched the NBA Finals in 2001, and everything about that game was just so special. You know, this dude went 17 for 19 from the free throw line after being this subpar free throw shooter. He was able to, you know, clutch it in. So yeah, that Giannis performance was beautiful, because it was like it kind of solidified also his case for I should have went his case for MVP, because everyone was kind of saying like, oh, it should be Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is the MVP of this series. Like, y'all just giving it to Giannis because it's the name, it's the brand kind of. But I don't think so. Giannis, I mean, don't get me wrong. Without Chris Middleton, Giannis doesn't win it, and without Giannis, Middleton doesn't even have a chance. I think Giannis definitely put a stamp, solidified his gangsterness on that MVP title. That shit was amazing. This dude had like 6 blocks, I can't remember, 13 rebounds. You really just, you know, filled up that scorecard. And then to add to the fact, this dude put 50 points and beat this team being down 2-0. You know, that performance overall was fucking star performance, legendary moment. And so I respect number 3, Matt. Number 2, Matt had a bonus with that Edelman catch. Oh no, it did this to me last time. And it froze on me. Hello. Okay. So yeah. But I think let's definitely talk about that Julian Edelman catch. I think he was double coverage, and you don't really see a lot of players anymore in that type of coverage unless your name's Megatron. But yeah, that dude was in a double, triple coverage. I can't remember, you know, the play at the line, but I remember Tom Brady kind of just, you know, like, any other quarterback would not have made that throw, and Tom Brady did it, trusting Edelman, and Edelman fucking literally caught that ball, I think 3 times. That whole possession, he caught it, let go of it, caught it, let go of it, and then with like inches about to touch the fucking ground, was able to cuff his hands like you're cuffing your sweet testicles, and caught it. He reeled that caught. And it was beautiful. Like, I remember like just watching it, and it was no debate. Like, there was no debate that he did not catch the ball. When you're watching the replay, at first you were like, oh no, like a quick motion, you're like, look, his hands come off the ball, and then, you know, it was already touching. But once you slow that down, man, that catch was amazing. And I think that catch will be behind David Tyree's catch, but that's one of the greatest catches in Super Bowl history, and that's to say a lot, because what are we in, Super Bowl 50 something, 53, 54, and yeah, and that was a pretty cool moment. My phone's kind of turned off, so I respect number 2, especially Tom Brady being up there, and that game was just special. You probably will never see that shit. Oh, I should not swing at that. You probably never see that shit again. Anyone down 28-3. And then just to add and put that catch there too. That was beautiful. And number one on Matt's list, and I think this should be on number one on everyone's list if you're a Dodger fan, is Julio Urias strikeout to win the 2020 Mickey Mouse World Series. I say that because everyone just talks shit about that World Series. But you know when everyone had the same chances of winning the World Series, and they all lost that Mickey Mouse tournament, and we won it. So you know what? Fuck y'all. Y'all call that shit a Mickey Mouse tournament. I'll just make fun of it. So y'all can't you can't talk shit about me, cause you know. But yeah, that I think, you know, that moment of just kind of fuck, just it was kind of like a sign of relief, like a huge monkey out your back, like after getting cheated, not once, not twice, against the Astros and the Red Sox. I mean, I personally believe if the Astros or if the Red Sox didn't cheat, we will still win. We still wouldn't have won. That team was just better than us. You can just tell, like they just wanted it more. But that Astros, fuck. But that series kind of, you know, will forever just haunt the shit out of us. It was great. And so that ends Matt's list. Pretty good list, Matt. I told everyone in the beginning, I think, before you joined, that I was going to take it easy on you because I know how sensitive you can get. And I hope I mean, this time you actually had a better list. So it was you kind of did a lot better than the other one. All right. I guess I will go on to my list. Again, like I said, my list won't have very top moments, like big moments like they had, just because I kind of went a little different approach on this list, kind of like shit that I experienced, like firsthand. I was there, I lived it, I experienced it with the crowd. So that's kind of a little, that's some of it's a little different like that. But some of them I do. Oh, why didn't I jump? Okay, so my top five. Number 5 is JT's hits a walk-off home run against the Cubs in the NLCS. I think this year is the year where we got cheated on against the Astros. But I was here at this game. I remember there's a picture that this girl behind took of me and Sydney, and it was just a beautiful moment in itself. Being with my sister, experiencing that. Experience any walk-off is just so much fun. So it's just so amazing. And so I had the luxury, I had the privilege to actually see that firsthand with my sister, and that was just, it was beautiful. You know, JT rounding first base with spreading his arms, you know, that later on to become a bobblehead, which I do own. My friend did do a drawing as well of that picture that I have. I have it on Instagram. You can definitely go and see that. But that's on my top 5 just because I was able to experience that. And number 4 is something else I was also able to experience a few years ago when just before, I think it was just like a year or two before COVID. Me and my dad and my brother went to Boston to a Laker game. Just to experience Boston and a Laker game in the Boston Garden. And you know, if you're a sports fan, you definitely understand the rival of the Lakers and Celtics. And I think what made it more special was Rajon Rondo has always been one of my top point guards. You know, I've always had this mindset that you can't like a Celtics player, but I actually did have Rajon Rondo's Celtics jersey just because, you know, I love the sport of basketball, and I love the way he plays the game. I think he's a true point guard, one of our last ones, you know, behind Chris Paul. But I did, if you guys do remember that game, Rajon Rondo returns to the Boston Garden. Kyrie Irving as well. You know, Kyrie Irving and LeBron James kind of reuniting kind of on the same court. It was definitely a lot of storylines. The return of Rajon Rondo, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving facing off. And I remember just talking mad shit. And I remember Kyrie Irving hitting a jumper, hitting a reverse layup, I think, putting up the Celtics by 1. I remember I think Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram was picking up the ball. He ends up taking like a little 15-foot jumper, ends up missing. The ball is being patted around. I think Tyson Chandler was still there. He tipped it. Kuzma tipped it, and the ball just miraculously lands in Rajon Rondo's hands in like less than maybe a minute or two, or less than a minute, a second, less than a second or two. And I remember just Rondo just grabbing it and just throwing it immediately, and the ball. I just remember this crowd just going quiet. Look, I remember just peeking over. Everyone was standing up. I remember my dad wasn't standing up. I remember I had to pick up my dad. I think he was just so nervous. He's like, oh, hell no, I'm going to sit down. And I was like, Dad, you better get your ass up. And so I picked up my dad, and then that's when Brandon Ingram goes to attack. Ball misses. Ball gets bounces. The rebound's bouncing, lands in Rajon Rondo's hand, and he just throws it up and hits the buzzer beater to beat his old team. And that was great. I remember I was drunk as shit. I remember my voice was gone. I should have got my ass beat, but I had really good seats. I had pretty fucking good seats. And so those people are really nice. You know, they don't want any confrontation, especially physical. If I would have sat in the bleachers up there, I probably would have left with 2 black eyes, my penis gone, and my wallet robbed. And I would have been, you know what, I would have accepted it because I was such a fucking jerk. I was such a damn bully. But the fact that I had pretty good seats, you know, I was with the nice people who didn't want no problems. And so, yeah, I was able to experience that. So that's in my top 5. Number 4, or wait, I did number 4. Number 3 was Lakers' revenge in the finals against the Boston Celtics, winning in Game 7. I think that series alone was just, you know, back and forth. You know, there was such a dog fight. That series was such a dog fight. You honestly had no idea. You knew the Lakers were gonna win it, but you didn't know how. It was just so hard, you know, watching Kobe. He struggled that last Game 7. I think he was like 4 for like 15. His shot was gone. But the greatness about Kobe is that he went and he got like 16 rebounds. I think that was his career high in rebounds, just because he knew he couldn't score, so he did something else. He provided something else, and he provided not only a dub, but he provided 15 rebounds off the boards, and it was just great. Just that game, you know, when Ron Artest, when Kobe passed it to Ron Artest, I was screaming, pass it back to Kobe, and he just shoots that 3. I was like, no, and then he makes it, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I was like, oh my god. After that, I knew we were gonna win. Like, I think we were up by like 4 with at least a minute left, or a little bit just over a minute. We were gonna win. There was no way we were losing. And then of course Rajon Rondo catches that ball, throws it, misses it. Lamar Odom crashes the rebound with like maybe 3-4 seconds left, throws it across throws it a court, like through the full length of a court, and you just see Kobe Bryant chasing it, and you see the buzzer goes off. And I remember the house I live in right now. I remember walking up and down this cul-de-sac. I had underwears on. I'm not gonna say I was butt naked, but I had underwears on. I had a flag, and I had my butt cheeks showing. And I remember just going down the street screaming. I was excited. And that was 2010. I was 16 years old. Yeah, it was crazy. You know, and then it was just kind of just a stamp on it, you know. All that shit talking that the Celtics were just more a bigger dog than us, that we were weak, we were soft, and then we came back. Obviously 2009, they didn't make it. They lost to the Orlando Magic, and then so they couldn't keep their end of the bargain. 2010 comes back, they keep their end of the bargain. They meet us again in the NBA Finals, and it was just a dog fight, and the better dog won. You know, don't get me wrong, the Celtics were dangerous. You know, yeah, I think was it Kendrick Perkins that was ejected for Game 7. He couldn't play Game 7, so Baby Shaq was playing, and so you know, you'll hear spots of Celtics fans saying, oh, the outcome would have been different. I don't think so. You know, the game plan was certainly different for both teams, but in the end, he shouldn't have gotten ejected in the first place. So Lakers won that shit fair and square. Such a beautiful moment, and that is number 3 in my top 5. Number 2 was another regular season game that I was able to experience with my dad. We always had this little kind of tradition between me and him to go see a Laker game versus the Miami Heat, because they always played, like literally, this was at least 4 years straight. They always played the Miami Heat literally a day before or a day after my birthday. And this was the last year we went, because after that year, that's when LeBron and Chris Bosh went, and that's when the tickets went like super duper high, and that's when that game was more televised on a national state. So it was like a Christmas Day or New Year's or something, more televised game. So, but these games weren't that televised. I mean, yeah, Dwayne Wade versus Kobe was pretty, get you to watch these games, but. This was the last game I went to see Kobe versus Dwayne Wade, and if you recall what I'm talking about, that game, Kobe Bryant ended up hitting a bank three over Dwayne Wade to win it, and I was there. God damn, these teams just hit home runs on us, and so. Here's a crazy story. The story itself is insane, because if you're from LA but you don't live in LA, you understand that you gotta leave any event at least, if like in baseball terms, you gotta leave by the 7th inning if you want to get to the LA Empire without dealing with traffic. In basketball games, you gotta leave before 7 minutes of the fourth quarter. 5 minutes before the fourth quarter, before it gets just crazy and hectic. So I remember we were down at least by like 8-10 points, and my dad wanted to leave already. And I think it was pretty late in the game too. I was like, Dad, we can't leave. Like, we still have a chance. And I remember, my dad literally was like, let's go. And I was all right. I'm not gonna fight with my dad. And so we're leaving, and we get in the hall, and I remember D-Fish stealing it, hitting an and one, and putting us down by like 4 or 5. And I was like, Dad, we still have a chance. And my dad ended, and I ran back to the tunnel. I didn't run back to the seats. I just ran to the tunnel where I can stand and see the court. And so I did just that, and I was just waiting. The ball got inbounded. I think D Wade ended up missing a free throw that still gave us the ability to. I can't remember the game. I can't remember, word for word. I'm not LeBron James, but what I do remember is us having a chance to win it, down by 2. And I remember, I remember them calling a timeout. I remember just Kobe Bryant catching that ball. He was dribbling, didn't know what to do. He went left. Time was running, and off one foot, he's kind of just. Off one foot, running off, and he just threw it up. He just threw that shit up, banked it over Dwayne Wade, and it was a buzzer beater. My first buzzer beater I experienced. And I remember the confetti, the purple and gold confetti flying down. And my dad watched this on the TV in the hallways of Staples Center. Like, this dude could have watched it at home. It would have been no different. He was able to hear the war. I was like, damn, it was crazy. But I was able to watch it. I was able to see it firsthand, and that's why it's on my top 2. I remember that year, that Christmas tree was the ugliest shit ever. That shit was wrapped around purple and gold confetti with a green Christmas tree. It was ugly. It was ugly, but it had to be done. It had to be done. So that's on my number 2. And number 1, I won't go over it as much because, again, it's the Julio World Series pitch. That's why it's there. That pitch in itself, I explained it, historical. It'll live in Dodger history forever. And so I can't really go in about it anymore as much as I already did with everyone else having it on their list. Holy shit, why? Give me that. Yeah. So yeah, that's my list. That's everyone's list. Thank you for everyone who appreciated it. Thank you for those who are hearing this. I hope you enjoy your Friday. For some, I think Andre is already Saturday. Hope you enjoy your weekend, Andre. Let's get this. Damn. But yeah, enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend.